excited about what I'm going to share with you guys today. So do me a favor, if you know there's somebody who needs to hear the sound of my voice and who this would resonate with, go ahead and invite them, just share it out to them. There's something that's kind of heavy on my heart, not heavy, but something I want to share with all of you. Also, I'm rocking my new hairstyle. I just decided to pin it up and see what that would look like. My hair is growing and growing and growing. It has to do with something that I just experienced that I realize that a lot of you are likely experiencing as well. And so what I want to do, let me see if I can just find my name and put that up. Yeah. What I want to do is talk about this. I'm going to talk about what I'm doing about it and kind of shine a light on this for all of you, especially those of you who have this really strong desire to do 100K months. So why do I talk so much about 100K months? Because what I learned a long time ago is that a 6-figure a year business is a baby business. When I hit 6 figures in my business, I was still looking for my next client. I was still kind of on the hustle and the grind of trying to figure out what to do next. And while that's a great milestone for most people to start, it's not the place you want to land if you're somebody who's attracted to me, who knows you have big purpose in the world, who knows you're meant to make big waves in the world and have a big imprint in the world. What do I mean by that? I believe that money in the hands of good people can change everything. That means it is about the money. It means you need to have more money coming into you. And so I want to share a place that we get stuck when we're on the drive and the hunt for those elusive $1 million businesses, 6-figure months. I like to use 6-figure months as a standard because we know if you're doing 6 figures a month, you're hitting $1 million, right? So it's a place for us to start. So what I used to do is I used to wear my actions, my driving, my go-get-itness, my overcoming, my striving and struggle as a badge of honor. And some of you may be doing that too. And so you lean to it or you lean into it when it's time, when you feel like, okay, I'm ready to do it. We're at the beginning of a year, right? And at the beginning of a year, there's usually this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to make this happen, let's go. And so you're driving, right? And you're pushing and you're prodding and you're making it happen, right? And so what I realized is as I became more and more successful in my business and in my life, there was less to do about driving. And so there was a shift that I made. And I want to share this with you because I think it's important. The shift that I made was instead of saying, I'm like a phoenix rising from the ashes, or I'm a champion, I'm overcoming things, I'm making things happening, I started to think about it differently and go, I'm just a champion. I just win. What if there was nothing to overcome? Right? So that was the first shift for me is I don't have to fall down 55,000 times just to fight to get back up again to prove anything to anyone. The second part of that is it gets to be easy. I try to create what I create, revenue, clients, the life I want to live with an ease and a flow. But you have to give yourself permission to accept that. To accept that. We punish ourselves oftentimes. I know I used to. If we're not where we think we should be by now, we discount every win that we have. If we don't have where we think we should have by now, or have accomplished the goal that we think that we should have accomplished by now, what we do is we punish ourselves. We say, okay, I'm going to work on the weekends. I'm going to work on the evening times. I'm going to get this done. Grind. And I want to give you a little analogy about what I thought about this weekend as I was unplugging and looking at my own life. And that's this. I always talk about how seeds produce fruit. So any activities or actions that you take that are rooted in, I got to, I have to, it's actually rooted in lack. And so seeds that you plant, whether it's in your marketing, your conversations you're having with people, seeds rooted in lack or from a feeling of lack that you don't have enough or that you got to do a thing, what kind of fruit do you think they produce? More lack. They're not rooted in abundance. They're rooted in lack. So seeds can only produce the type of seeds that they come from. The fruit, the trees, that it can only bear the type of fruit that it's supposed to bear. So you want to think about how you're feeling and what you're doing when you're actually out there creating, because people are like, I'm doing all the things. I'm posting on social media. I'm going live, but it's all in this state of it's not enough. What if people don't listen to me? I hope somebody reaches out to me. That's all lack. So what if you can shift that? Right? What if you can shift that and trust? Think about seeds. There's seed time and harvest, right? And every plant, every fruit has a harvest time. I think strawberries take 2 weeks, maybe 7 days. I don't remember, but that's short, right? And so what happens is if you're a high achiever and you're used to accomplishing things fast, you're a quick decision maker, you are used to having results come to you fast because that's how they've shown up all of your life. What happens is you get in this feeling of that's how life is supposed to happen. And so you will go out and do things in your business that will likely produce fruit. But because it didn't produce fruit today, so let's say you go live today and you're staring at your calendar like this, and no one books an appointment, you're like, oh, well, that didn't work. I'm going to try something different. And you dig up the seeds that you've just planted to plant something new. And you do this over and over and over again, often wondering, how come I don't have the results that I desire to have? Because you dug up the seeds that you had already planted. There's different seed times and harvest times, right? There are pineapples take 18 months to germinate, to produce fruit, right? It takes a longer time than strawberries, which takes 2 weeks. And so what I want you to get used to as you're marketing your business and as you are creating or taking the steps and the actions that you want to take that are yielding you the results. If 100K months are where you're trying to go, you know you want to have a multi-million-dollar business, there has to be a trust. When I plant a seed in the ground and I begin to water it, I have to trust that it's going to bear fruit in its due season. I will do what I need to do. If I need to till soil, I'll till soil. If I need to water it, I will water it. I will do the things that I need to do, but I am trusting that a tree is going to show up, a bulb or something. I'm not a plant person, but I'm trusting that whatever is supposed to show up is going to show up in its due time. How many of you are you? Let me ask you this, not how many of you, are you doing that in your business? When you are planting seeds, when you're going to events, when you are speaking on podcasts, going live, marketing in your business, are you trusting that the seed that you just planted is definitely going to bear fruit? You don't know when. It can be a pineapple, it can be a strawberry. But most often it's a pineapple and we're looking for strawberries. Strawberries come fast. The only reason why I know that, do you guys remember Farmtown on Facebook way back in the day? Strawberries come fast. There you go. So here's the thing. There's two things that I want to gift you as you're sitting in this knowing, like, how can I trust more that what I've already done is already coming back to me? It's already coming back to me. This feeling that it's already coming back to me. I want to give you a couple of things that I thought about because I realized this, and I'm just going to be honest. While I talked about crossing $1 million last year with you guys and used it as a way to encourage you about what's possible, I still haven't celebrated yet. And so the first thing that I want to gift to you to really be in that trust and that knowing is to celebrate the wins that you already have. You want to celebrate what you already have, not just look to the future like, that was great. How can I do it again? Can I do it again? That's how most people's brains work. And what happens is we get success amnesia. And success amnesia makes us feel like we're not creating extraordinary results. Most of you, if you're listening to me, you're an extraordinary person and you do extraordinary things extraordinarily well. And you do them very often. And because you do them so often, you think it's ordinary that people do the things that you do, but you're not ordinary. How do we stop ourselves from feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm behind everybody else? Be in reality about what you've currently created. Celebrate your wins. If you don't have a place where you can celebrate it, get connected in a community that allows you to do that. Because I promise you, even the things that you've done so far, if you turn on a camera and go live and do a video like this, you're not an ordinary person. Most people won't do that. Most people are scared to death to speak in this way. Speaking is the number one fear in the world. Public speaking. And so here you are thinking, I'm just not doing it right. What you don't realize is most people won't do what you do. So celebrate every win, every milestone that you have. Some of you guys, I'm looking at you right now. You got $30,000 clients. You got $20,000 clients. Heck, you got $5,000 clients. There are people, the majority of people in the world don't get to experience that. But because you haven't yet hit a 6-figure month, you discount the fact that you have people that are willing to pay you $50,000, $30,000, $5,000 to work with you. You got to celebrate that stuff. You got to be in the reality of the extraordinary that is you. So with that said, I know that I am actually going to spend this week planning my celebration. So I imagined this day for so long. I imagine crossing my business into the $1 million, and we did $1.5 million last year. I imagined it. It came. It still didn't hit home. And then I kind of just moved on after I celebrated with you guys a little bit and talked about it. But I hadn't really celebrated with my family how I imagined it. And so that is what I'm going to do in the next coming weeks. I'm excited about it. I'm going to rent a suite. I'm going to deck it out. And I am going to celebrate the generational curses that I have broken over my family's financial legacy. I'm going to celebrate the wealth code that we are shifting for future generations of my family and the dynasty that we are building, that I am building, right? I will be a name that my future generations of my children's children's children will not soon forget, because this is where things are changing. Okay. And so I'm going to celebrate that. And I want you to celebrate your extraordinary badass self. What have you not celebrated because you have just been deciding that it's ordinary and that it's not enough because it's not the big, I'm a cuss. It's not the big ass, hairy, audacious goal that you have for your future. Go ahead and type it in the comments. What have you not celebrated? Because honey, you're not ordinary. The things that you're doing, most people can't do and won't do. Do you know this? The majority of people in this industry that I'm in, coaching, consulting, transformational work, which most of you are in as well, never hit 6 figures in their business. Never, ever. That's why I know it's extraordinary that the majority of people that I work with, especially privately, hit 6 figures. It's not normal. But because you're surrounded by lots of not normal people who are doing extraordinary things, like this chick who just did $1 million month, you assume that the things that you're doing are just ordinary, and they are not. You want to get to where you're trying to go faster? Get into reality about who you are in the world. Celebrate the heck out of yourself. And yeah, most ordinary people aren't going to understand it. They're not going to get it. You know, they may call it bragging or whatever, but it seems like bragging for them because they haven't accomplished it. For you, you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did this. Like, I'm still like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did this, right? It's not ordinary. And I will catch myself time and time and again saying, I'm just a regular, ordinary person. I'm not. No way, shape, or form. I am not. And neither are you. You got to start celebrating those wins. Janelle said, I need to celebrate clients paying me for my program at the new price of $5,000. Absolutely. I want to see that freaking celebration, right? Again, if you don't have a safe place where you can celebrate, get one, right? If you're part of my free community, 100K Slay, you can definitely celebrate inside of there, right? You raised your price to 5K and people said, yes, just like that on the spot. And you didn't celebrate it. Celebrate it. I made 6 figures last year, but I thought it wasn't enough. I haven't celebrated. Come on, Brandy, let me celebrate you. Where's my clapper? I'm celebrating both of y'all. This is for Janelle. And this is for Brandy. You better celebrate. You better celebrate. Yes, there's multiple six figures. Yes, there's $1 million. But if you don't celebrate what you have, you're digging up the seeds you've already planted. Celebrate. Celebrate. Celebrate, celebrate, celebrate. It is a big part of the rapid acceleration that you see in my communities and me going through, not discounting what you've already sown. Okay? Listen, I talk about raising your game all the time. And I know that I can give you guys strategy upon strategy, but guess what? Listen, lean in and listen to me. Strategy is Googleable. You can Google how to do anything. But learning who you be while you rapidly accelerate your revenue and the success that you're trying to create for yourself, you can't Google that, right? It's something that happens from the inside out, and it's something that you should be mentored through. Because if success leaves clues, right? If you can see, oh, this is how it happens, it rapidly accelerates. Okay. So I want you guys to celebrate. Let me see. I'm coming close to 30K this month. And instead of celebrating, I was wondering how it was going to happen in February. Come on. You're already in February. We still got how many days we got left in this month? 4, 5? There's still 5 days left in this month. This is for you, Chantel. You better go ahead with your $30,000 month self. Come on. Celebrate this month. You're already looking at, oh, shoot, how am I going to do $30,000 again this month? It doesn't matter. Listen, I'm going to tell you another story. And I use my stories because it's what I'm intimate with. I remember 4 years ago, you guys have been seeing, I've been going to this event called Expand every year. 4 years ago, at the very first Expand, I was in the room and I said out loud, I want to have $100,000 month. Now, for those of you who know me now, that might seem like, oh, well, that's what you do. But then 4 years ago, I was like, okay, if I can have just $100,000 month, I know my $1 million year is possible. Just one. I know my year is possible. That year, I did a 1 month. It wasn't every month. 1 month I did was like $83,000 or $86,000. It was an $86,000 or $87,000 month. And I remember being at my friend Molly Mahoney's mastermind event because she'd asked me to speak on a panel. We were at her house and I'm on this panel and I'm telling this story. And there was a lady sitting next to me, Carla Silver. And she leaned over, and Carla has built multiple $1 million businesses. And she said, I just want to bring something up as you're telling this story about not hitting. So Expand happened in January. This event was in October. And she said, you're talking about not hitting the 100K month, but you did 87,000. She's like, it only takes $83,333 every month to make $1 million. And it hit me like a ton of bricks. That's like discounting, right? The same thing you guys are talking about, discounting the success. And I was like, oh my freaking God. She totally shifted my perspective. And that's where this came from. This like celebrating where you are. So while that year, I did not have a 6-figure month when I first declared it, I never dug up the seed because I was still on track. That was an expansion that let me know, right? And so here we are 4 years later during a pandemic, every single freaking month except for 3 months, except for 3 months last year, we hit over 6 figures in revenue. And in 1 month, because it's showing me the expansion again, just like that $83,000 seed did for me that year, 4 years ago, showed for me again what's possible. We did over $1 million in revenue in 1 month in 2020. Come on. Don't dig up your seeds. If I dug up my seeds 4 years ago, over and over and over again, it's not enough. It's not enough. Oh my gosh, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? I don't think my year would have looked like it looked this year at all. I don't think it would have looked like it looked. So I want you to take inventory. Take inventory. Let me look for some other celebrations. What have you not celebrated? What have you not celebrated? That's extraordinary. but you discount it because it's not where you want to be yet. Stay in the present moment with what you are creating, because Chantel, what you're creating is showing you what's possible. If you can do 30K one month, of course you can do it another month and another month. Will it be next month? We don't know, but we know you can do it, right? We know it is possible. And eventually that probably will become your normal. But you don't have to be in lack and in the pressure of the driving, the striving, the figuring out, and the doing. Just be present with what you currently have. The seed you've currently planted is, oh my gosh, I'm almost at $30,000 this month. Janelle, you raised your prices. People are paying you $5,000. Okay, great. Maybe you want a $10,000 program, or you want to do 100K months or whatever. The reality of it is this is the stepping stone. This is it. You know, this past year in 2020, while I was normalizing, right? You got to normalize that 30K comes to you, right? Exactly. I remember when $10,000 was the goal, and now 10,000 is the norm. That's exactly what I was just saying, Chantel. You've got to normalize where you currently are. It's normal for me to do $30,000. Of course, people pay me 5K. Of course, people pay me 50K. Yes, you have to normalize it. And from that, normalizing it, that allows you to move into the next level of expansion. You cannot contract into trying to figure out how am I going to do it next, and worry. That's all rooted in lack. And those seeds, when you do work rooted in lack, can I do it? Do I have the resources? All of those questions only produce one kind of fruit, and that is lack. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Okay, that's all I wanted to share today. I think it's super important that we not only learn the how-tos and the strategies. Like, it's great to learn the step-by-step of how to do things. But most of you guys are so brilliant and so powerfully genius and incredibly extraordinary. You don't need nobody step by step. You just got to lean into the power of who you be and the doing that you've already done, because I promise you, you've already done and learned more than most people will learn in their freaking lifetime. Now it's time to put it to work. That's it. Put it to work and trust. Put it to work, trust. Put it to work and trust. Pull back on working on weekends. Stop it altogether. Working into the night because you don't have what you don't have. All of that stuff. I'm looking at the comments over here. I hope you're hearing me, because this is where rapid revenue and income acceleration lies. And the stuff that I tell you week in and week out, that seems simple, right? It is simple. It's not easy, because everything on the inside of you will go, you should be working. You should be doing something. And you just got to sit back and go, listen, last year, I've had my biggest revenue generating and income year ever, right? There's more money in my bank account than most people make, I don't know, in 5 years. I don't even know how to explain it. I'm gonna let that go by. But I relaxed more last year than I ever had. I watched more Netflix than I ever have in my life. I chilled more than I ever have. I didn't dress up more than I ever had. I'm like, look at me right now. I got this, wrong eye. This eyelash thing still bugging me. It's probably not bugging any of you guys, but it's bugging the heck out of me. This is me trying to wear magnetic lashes. More chill than I ever had. And all I do is giggle. If you were at my live event, you watch me be more Shameca than I've ever been, including all the squirrels. Like, I just had a squirrel right now, a squirrel moment, looking at something me just being 100% completely myself. And it was the biggest event I'd ever done, right? We did over $750,000 at the event, almost $800,000 at the event, just the event. Being 100% me, no additives, no filters. You have that same power, but you got to trust that you are enough, that you know enough, and that you have enough, and you have everything you need for what's next, and stop digging up your seeds. Ashley said the fire truck is coming because I'm on fire. Oh, All right, loves. I don't really have an invitation for you guys today. What I want you to be on the lookout for is next month, I am going to do, I'm going to start doing our monthly masterclass again, which is time where you get to be on with me on Zoom live. I'm going to teach my 100K month blueprint. If you haven't attended that, you want to jump in. So I will, in a couple of weeks, start inviting you guys to sign up for that so that you can learn some of this stuff and really integrate it into your knower. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep showing up powerfully how you're showing up. Ease into it. Don't drive. Get rid of that badge of honor. Right? Hard work, the struggle, the comeback, the rising, the phoenix, like let all of that go and watch what ease and flow creates in your life. Now, for most of you, what will happen is that ease and flow, you will start to feel like that was too easy and you'll wait for the other shoe to drop, or that was too easy and like, oh, maybe I shouldn't be charging as much or all of those things. No, love, when you're operating in your zone of power, it is easy. I can do what I do all day long. All day, every day, even on Sunday, over and over and over again. It is my zone of power. It is what I was born to do. That's where you want to reside, because that's where the money resides. Where the money resides, where the money resides. I'm sorry. Let me be serious. I'm not sorry. That's it. That's it. I want you to know this. You got everything you need. I know you hear that. It sounds cliche, but for what's next in front of you, I used to search and throw money at all kinds of things, right? You have what you need. You have what you need. Just go do. Stop digging up your seeds. Allow them to germinate, right? Allow them to germinate. That's it, loves. All right. I'll see you guys next week. That's all, folks. Bye. Thank you so much for watching my show, my channel. Here's what I want you to do. If you really love what you've been listening to, I want you to subscribe to my channel and leave me a comment. No, really, leave a comment. Like right now. I'm not gonna stop talking until you leave a comment. Seriously, leave a comment.